All right, guys, so we are really excited to have Mr. Lawrence here. Mr. Lawrence is a barber. Please tell the name of your barbershop, Mr. Lawrence.
Northside Barbershop, LaGrange, Georgia.
Wonderful. So LAG True County in the house. We want to talk a little bit with Mr. Lawrence and his client about some hair care, especially for our guys. So he's going to be cutting up some hair, and we're going to have some conversation as he's doing that. So Lawrence, I was asking about hair care. So if you had to tell a young man who doesn't always have access to maybe coming to the barber, because I think you told me you have some folks who come to the barber shop at least once per week. Am I correct by that?
Yeah, you have some that's repeated every week, and a lot are repeated every 2 weeks.
Okay, so if I don't have the access to be able to do that, tell me some things I can do in order to keep good hair care as a male.
Um, well, on that's going to depend on your texture and the style, the type of hairstyle that you wear. So I feel like if, depend on, like I say, your texture. A lot of times you could probably, even younger kids, 14, 15 and up, you can kind of experiment with yourself a little bit, finding some clippers, whether they be hand-me-down or new, to kind of learn how to do basic fundamentals. Because one thing we do know, if you put a hat on, it'll cover up the hair.
So it sounds like there are some trickeries that we can put in place if I haven't made it to the barbershop that I could do in order to still look good.
Exactly.
Understood. Now, we were talking about economically some cost efficient ways in order to take care of your hair.
Okay.
And what you told me was I can go to the dollar store or Dollar Tree.
Yep.
Wonderful. Can we talk a little bit about that?
Well, you know, the dollar store, Dollar Tree, they have certain little items that we all pretty much use for hair care, whether it be coconut oil, Vaseline, moisturizer, or some kind of hair conditioner that we could, you could purchase there for a small amount that can kind of help you get through whether it be that day or that week.
How often should, as a guy, if I was a guy, I'm not a guy, how often should we be washing our hair when we're washing?
A lot of times that depends on your hair. Me personally, I wash mine every 3 to 4 days, but I think the average would be every other day.
Understood. Understood. So, are there some other tips? You told me some other tips. So, can you share some more tips if I'm a guy and I'm trying to take care of my hair and I want to look good because I may be going out or, I may be getting ready to go back to school? What are some other things I can do?
If you're going off, I say if you're going off to school, hey, experiment with yourself. Find your cheap pair of clippers to kind of start doing whether it be your facial, shaving your face, or tapering the back of your neck to kind of help groom it up and keep it at least presentable.
Awesome. So, do you have a recommendation for clippers, like name brands, or where I can go get these clippers?
Well, we use the Andes for trimmers and more like walls for cutting. And any beauty supply store should have them, but you can shop around, in your area. But you can shop around Walmart. They have certain select few.
Is there a cost, like overhead, so you can tell me, like, after $20, can I get a pair that's gonna pretty help me out?
That's just like anything else. You get what you pay for. So, a lot of times with that, just depending on your budget or your price range and how long you plan on using them. I think if you're using them for yourself, a $20 pair of clippers will work fine. But
Awesome.
if you're trying to do somebody else's, you might want to spend a little bit more money.
Very much so. Now, I can Google how to cut my hair. I can watch you and what you're doing. So I'm gonna be perfect when I cut my hair the first time.
No, you won't be perfect because it's trial and error. You're gonna make some mistakes.
Understood. So, can we talk a little bit about how you got started? Like, what brought your interest into this business?
Well, I guess I'd say I was about 15, maybe 15, 16, and my mom had bought us a set of clippers because I had three brothers, and by us growing up in the county area, we didn't have access to the barber shop, so with having our own set of clippers around the house, you know, we had to learn how to groom ourselves and take care of ourselves. And out of me and my brothers, I'm the only one that picked the clippers up and kept them.
Did you immediately start after high school, or when did that kind of start for you?
Well, it took a little time after high school because, you know, I think being young, I was kind of all over the place and not knowing what I really wanted to do. But as I hit a certain age and with experience, I kind of got to a point that barbering was still always there for me on a daily basis. So as I got older and started putting together, I realized that I had a passion for it. And so with that passion, I developed my skill into being able to work in a barbershop.
And your passion led to a partnership.
Partnership.
So can we talk a little bit about your partnership?
Man, my partnership, I got with the best guy that I felt like fit me at the barbershop, that fit my style, and we've been partners now, going on 16 years.
Amazing, 16 years together as partners in cutting hair.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we talked about education-wise. So, what is your suggestion? Can I just pick up clippers, start cutting folks from the around the way, or do I need to get some type of educational stuff?
I would suggest that, but at the same time, you know, I would suggest that anybody that's trying to get into barbering, you know, with the new rules, laws, and regulations, not only the hair, but the product and the do's and don'ts, and it also help you develop like business skill on how to deal with your customers and the public.
Awesome. So, passion, partnership, education. Is there anything else?
Location.
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 Let's talk about location. What does that matter within my passion, within my partnership, and my education?
Because if you're too far out, people don't want to come. And you
too far out in the city or
out in the county area, you want to be somewhere with a high traffic, or at least a moderate traffic, to where people can see your business. Because sometimes everybody don't follow you on social media.
Wonderful. Do you use social media as a way to get customers, or tell me how your customer base comes?
We're pretty much word of mouth. But sometimes I do use social media to post as a platform to post certain cuts, certain styles. But most of our line of work, well, our business, it comes from word of mouth. So your work kind of speaks for itself.
Your work has to speak for itself.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes as folks, you know, we may not wake up on the best days, and it may not be our day. But do you sometimes have to just push forward regardless of how you're feeling?
Man, I was thinking about that, and I think with my partnership with the two guys that I work with, I think we feed off of each other. So some days if I'm not feeling it, to look over there and see them performing works and smiling and laughing and carrying on with the day, it kind of brighten my day. Because
all right, guys, so we had a quick interruption, and we want you to be able to hear. But you were talking about commitment. So tell me a little bit about commitment. How does commitment affect what you do every day as a barber?
Because you always got to keep in mind that your customers, they depend on you. Well, you depend on your customers in order to keep your business going. So if you're gonna start it, just be fully committed that sometimes you, as a barber, you have to make sacrifices in your daily life to be there to provide service for your customers.
Awesome. I often talk about social capital. And social capital means I need to know a couple of people who know some people that know some people, so that when I have a need, I can reach out to some people, right?
Yeah, You're going to always need to know somebody.
Social capital is important.
It's very important.
And so as an emerging teen or guy or girl, because you know my aunt was a barber, which was totally different to me, but she was a barber a long time ago, and that was really different during that time. But having that social capital, so if I had an interest, is there an apprenticeship or something I can go under somebody with you like experience? I think you've had 16 years with the partnership. But is there an apprenticeship that I could do?
Yeah, you could do the apprenticeship, and if I'm not mistaken, the apprenticeship, you know, as long as you're working under a master barber, they can apprentice you to work in their shop, but their shop only.
Okay.
And I think that requires about 1,800 hours or either 18 months, whichever one comes first.
So you have to do an apprenticeship regardless.
Well,
under a master?
Under a master if you come in that way. But if you go to school, once you leave school, you'll already be a master.
Oh, understood. Yeah. So there's two different levels of that to enter to that. Awesome. So last thing, everybody want to know about money, right? So I want to go all in your business, and there's no need for you to pull out any, you know, evidence.
I got you.
But can I expect my money to come monthly, daily, weekly? How does my money flow, and how do I manage that?
Well, your money comes daily, you know, the hands that you do. But the outcome of how much money you make, that's gonna be totally up to you.
Understood. How can I affect my outcome?
How can you affect it?
Yeah, positive or negative?
Well, I say negatively if you get ahead of yourself. Negatively if you know, take it for granted. As to, like, you know, start treating your customers different, not want to cut certain customers, you can affect your whole business. Because a lot of it, like I said, it's your mindset going into it.
So right now you're cutting your nephew's hair, right? Can you wave nephew to the camera? Underneath, wonderful. So there was a time that we didn't expect that came in March, and that kind of changed everybody's normalcy, right?
Yep.
And I made that because this is your nephew and you're around him occasionally, so we're pretty free flowing right here as far as safety goes.
Exactly.
But if you were not prepared, because your money comes in daily, and when money comes in daily and come in quick, we can easily spend it quick too, right?
Exactly.
So were there some adjustments that you had to make in life because of circumstances that you couldn't control?
Yeah, because like with this job, with barbering, you get paid, you know, whether it be cash out, or, you know, maybe some credit cards, depending on, you know, your location. But a lot of that, it comes with the way you manage your money, your finances. You gotta know how to make and save before you spend.
Very much so, very great. You have to learn to make, save before you spend.
That's right.
Awesome. So are there any other tips that you want to share with everyone out there about cutting hair or becoming a barber?
I'd say, you know, if it's something that you desire to do, or if it's something that you have, well, just a little passion for you want to do on the side, I say go for it, because you could be creative. It's sort of like your platform to be your artist, you know, the artist, or how you see things fit.
Awesome. Hey, thank you guys so much for your time. Nephew, thank you for being a wonderful model. And I hope the information that we provide today will help you guys continue to thrive. Not only survive, but to thrive. Have an amazing day. Bye, Mr. Lawrence.
Peace.